Hooper here. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Today I want to teach you a tracer combination. If there is ever a tutorial that I have posted on YouTube that I have wanted y'all to learn, this would be it. It is just so beautiful in its entirety. So if you can learn the whole trick, it's going to look so dope in your twin flow. I will explain to you how to do the actual head tracers on wheel plane, and there is one prerequisite for you, and that is going to be extended body reels on wheel plane. I do have a few tutorials in the description box below if you do not know how to do this move. Also, Cassandra Morrison has a tutorial for it, which I originally learned this move from. It looks like this. You will need to know how to do it on one side or one hand, so whatever side you are more comfortable with learning. If you don't want to learn both sides, which I don't see why not, because this is a cool move, then use that side. Also, you've probably seen a lot of hoopers do this lately. This is adding beats or hand spins to your extended body reels, which I have a tutorial for as well. So with no further ado, if you are having a beautiful day and you want to learn this awesome combination, then let's jump right in. So the first part I want to teach you, which I cannot take credit for because I first saw this when I was studying every single video the most talented Katarina Sutton has ever put out on YouTube. I actually saw her do this and I watched her video a million times till I understood what the heck she was doing a few years ago, and then I've been doing it ever since. So I'm going to teach you how to do this first part, which I didn't want to take credit for, which looks like this. Okay, so we are going to start with both hoops out in front of us. Of course, we are on wheel plane. We have an inside grip. Our thumbs are pointing up. Now, what my right dominant hand is going to do, of course, you could do the opposite, because you're going to want to learn how to do this combination on both sides or both hands, doing the opposite. What my right hand is doing is simply bringing down, led by the pinky, and coming up to do an extended body reel, or like a barrel roll. So basically that's called a body reel. Okay? And back to start. This is my dominant hand doing this. What my left hand is going to do is it is going to draw back like the top of an isolation when the hoop rolls on the back of your hand, and you are going to bring it to your opposite shoulder, and you are going to grab it with your thumb pointing down when you are on the opposite shoulder. So you start with your hand stretched out, the hoop is going to roll on the back of your hand, and you are going to do a nice straight line to your opposite shoulder, re-grip, inside grip, thumb pointing down. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And what you want to do, if I stand on wall plane, you're going to see that there is a square right here. This is where you're going to want to put your head into, okay? So at this point, this is when the tracer comes into play. You're going to want the hooper to trace your shoulders from your back, from shoulders to shoulder. So right now the hoop is basically on my right shoulder, and I'm basically just going to brush the hoop from one shoulder to the next. Now I am on my dominant side, native side, and it's not so uncomfortable now. So I know that was a lot to take in. This is my left hand. I have an inside grip, thumb pointing up. I am going to do the top of the isolation, or linear isolation when you do the dragging part. That's what it feels like here. So you're going to let go, re-grip with your thumb pointing down until the hoop is touching your opposite shoulder. At this point, you want to trace your back from going from your opposite shoulder to your native shoulder. And of course, I said there's this square here that your head goes into. So because the hoop starts off basically touching the outside of your shoulder, you're going to begin when your head is going through by tracing up until the hoop is actually on your shoulder, okay? So boom to boom. And the hoop is actually rubbing against me. That's why it's called a tracer. You want it to trace the part of the body that it's, of course, tracing. So while my head is going through, I'm going to trace from my upper arm to my shoulder, and then it's going to go across my back to its opposite shoulder, okay? And right here, my arm is obviously bent. I'm just going to simply go back to start by unbending my hand. This is my left hand. Now putting it together can be a little daunting, but of course, look in a mirror and it'll help. Remember, the other hand is doing a body reel. Both hoops are starting out in front. Now I am going to bring my right hoop down to begin its body roll, or body reel, as I drag this hoop. So basically it's taking its place, okay? So at the same time it looks like this, and I'll turn around so you can see it better. Pretty simple, huh? And then from there, of course, you want to move the hoop onto your shoulder and put your head through that square. When you are bringing your head through the hoop and tracing at the same exact time, because that's a quick, fairly quick move, at the same time your hoop is going to swing up and do the body reel, okay? So 1, 2, okay? 1, 2. From here, I am going to simply take my left hand that did the tracer and unfold this bend, and I'm going to take the body reel that I did with my right hand and bring it in front and unbend. Okay, so this is a 3-step part move. 1, boom, 2, unbend, 3, unbend my hands. So get into the move, actually do the cool move, unbend back to start and finish the move. So this next part you have probably seen a few hoopers do before. It was very popular about a year ago when everybody caught on. It is super cool. Remember, the most important part about these tracer combinations, and of course tracers, no matter if they're on wheel plane or wall plane, is you could do this or you could do this. There's a big difference. If you're gonna do a move, you might as well do it in its full entirety, so practice until you get it down. You want the hoop to touch your body the whole time as a tracer. Even when I bring the hoop to my native side, it is tracing down my shoulder until I pop it back to start. That makes it look dope, okay? This next part, what I'm going to do with my right dominant hand is simply bring it down, do a hand spin, okay? And that's it. So 1, basically bend your arm, hand spin, 1 beat. 1 beat, okay? What your left hand is doing is another tracer. So you're going to do the back of the linear isolation until it is touching your opposite shoulder. You're going to pop the hoop up onto your shoulder, stick your head through the hole, trace your back from shoulder to shoulder, bring it down, even touching your shoulder as you bring it down, and then pop the hoop back to start. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? And then the other hand is just going to go like that. Okay? Because we cannot do both of these at the same time, it's going to be much simpler than the first move because you're taking turns. So first, you're going to take your right hand down, bend it, do 1 beat. Then you are going to mess with your left hand, which is doing the body reel, and then they'll both be back at start. Okay? So 1, and then as soon as I bring my body reel back, I'm just going to straighten this arm to get it out of the way. Together it looks like this. It's kind of in split time actually, okay? So down, and then as I go to do this hand spin, that's when I bring my extended body reel back, okay? Or I'm sorry, my head tracer back, sorry. I'll go on this side so you see what it looks like. 1, 2, 3. Keeping that tracer, of course, as clean as I possibly can. So now we're going to put the first part together that we learned by Katarina Sutton and the second part together that we just learned, okay? So let's go back. Of course, we're going to start in our starting position with an inside grip. Our right hoop is going to go down, pinky led to begin its extended body reel. As it goes down, we're going to drop the hoop to our opposite shoulder, okay? We are going to prop the hoop up to our shoulder, from our arm to our shoulder, doing our extended body reel and our tracer at the same time, okay? And of course it looks like they're chasing each other. That's why it's so cool. Notice that? Then we are going to unfold, unbend our arm, bring this hoop up a little more, unbend our arm, okay? Then we are going to start the second part. We are going to drop the hoop down, bend our arm and do that, and that, okay? So I'm going to turn around so you can see it from this angle. We are taking my right hoop, we are bringing it down, led by the pinky, while we bring the hoop back to our opposite shoulder. We are going to prop the hoop up to my shoulder by tracing it up. We're going to put our head through while we are doing the extended body reel so they look like they're chasing each other. I'm going to pop my elbow back, continue this reel, pop my elbow back, bend my right arm by dropping, okay? Boom. That's both moves together, okay? Now we are so close to being done with this combination. Let me show you the last part, which if you got the first part and the second part, this last part is a cakewalk, okay? So this is the last part. Of course, we are back to start and finish of this move where both of our hoops are in front of us. What we're going to do is drop our right hoop again, led by the pinky, fold our elbow and do another hand spin, okay? But this time we're going to keep this hoop, our left hoop, in its beginning spot, okay? Now we are here. Basically both hoops are layered, but our arms are crossed. What I want to do here with my left hoop that hasn't done anything is I want to fold the hoop like so. So I want to fold my left hoop so that it touches my right shoulder, okay? In that direction. We're not going to fold it so that it's touching our native shoulder. We want it to touch our opposite shoulder. Okay? And what we're going to do here is continue this fold with basically a smear. Have you ever done this with one hoop? Where it is doing all the work for you by momentoing it. The momentum from hitting the hoop on your opposite shoulder is actually bringing the hoop all the way around your hand. Your hand is just doing this. That's basically what we're doing, okay? So we are folding the hoop back, slamming it on our opposite shoulder. Of course, we're on wheel plane though. And basically we want to re-grip it when the hoop is in front of us, okay? When the hoop is basically back to start, but we don't want to fold it. It's here, okay? So it goes from here to here. Left hoop here. Hit our shoulder by folding it. Let it roll around, okay? And then re-grip with our wrist facing back. And of course, when you hit the hoop, if you've never done the move I showed you, when the hoop hits your opposite shoulder like that, you're going to basically stick your thumb into the hoop so that you can stick your hand into the hoop and rest it like so. So you want this serving platter sort of, so that the hoop can roll around and you can re-grip with your thumb pointing up, okay? So because we have an inside grip, the thumb, when we hit our shoulder, can easily go in first so that you can make the transition or the surface switch, and then you can easily re-grip like so. So this is the third part, okay? Both hoops in front, bring down, do the hand spin, take your left hoop, do this, okay? And now we're just going to pivot 90 degrees so that now we are on wheel plane to do whatever we fancy, okay? So that is it. Let's put all three parts together, okay? So first we'll start with the Katarina Sutton, which looks like this, and then bring both hoops back. Then we're going to do the tracer with the hand spin, if I could do it, and then we are back to start. Now we're going to do the hand spin with the smear and turn 90 degrees. Let me show you one more time by facing this side. Katarina Sutton, which is a head tracer versus a body reel, extended body reel. Back to start. Back to start. Back to start. Okay? And that is it, guys. Like I said, in its entirety, I wish I could see myself in the mirror right now, because when you put some oomph into it, practice all three parts, learn exactly where your hands need to be, actually put effort into learning that it, how it properly needs to be. This is different than this. I'm telling you, this is different than this. You're actually making contact with your body, you are touching it, the hoop is actually rubbing against you, and that is a tracer. It's making its way down. When you put effort into it, these three moves put together, it makes this combination look super awesome. So like I said, you know, practice makes perfect. Even this tracer, I'm tracing properly. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. If you want to learn anything, please leave a comment below. These hoops are from my beautiful sponsors, Festival Treasures. Check out their Etsy shop and use code VEGANHOOPER for cash off. And I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Happy hooping.